So
good.
where do you like to eat normally?
So I love places with music. So if there's
Okay.
live music, I'm usually there. I've tried most places. I was talking to my buddy Gary, and I really want to try Mayfair Supper Club.
Oh,
So
yes, I've been to that
Oh,
one.
have
It's
you?
amazing. Yeah.
So what did you like about it?
I
what's
loved
good
the whole
there?
experience of it. When you go in there, first of all, I love that I felt like I kind of went back in time with the way that they have the costumes and everything set up there. I loved the music. I loved the entertainment, and I loved the dancing. It was like basically while you're sitting and you get to eat, you also have a show at the same time. So I loved that part about it.
So I didn't realize. I guess I haven't done enough research, but there's costumes.
Yeah, they have a whole, like theme, I would say. I really
Okay.
get kind of similar to maybe like the 20s, 30s kind of Las Vegas feel there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
really
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a place I'd really love to try. But if there's live music, I'm usually there to at least try it out at least
Okay.
once. I went to this really cool kind of punk rock grunge
Oh, nice.
bar with my girlfriend, and
Okay.
it was just like it was like a blast from the past, just like going back in time. It was like
Oh,
back in high
nice.
school, I used to love like punk rock.
Okay.
And so it was like a local punk rock band. And
Nice.
like it got kind of dark later at night, and so we got out of there, but it was a fun time though.
Nice. That's really cool. That's awesome. Are you from here in Vegas?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Las
Okay.
Vegas. My dad was actually born and raised in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
so,
Nice.
So we go way back. So I think my grandpa moved here in 1950.
Okay. A lot of changes from 1950 till today.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first, I guess, memory here in Las Vegas?
So I think like my first memory of like growing up of like Vegas, the culture of Vegas, was probably the Excalibur getting built. That was like a
Okay.
big thing for me. I remember my family. We were walking through the airport, and they had
Nice.
this model, like a scale model of the Excalibur, and
Okay.
it had this big sword sticking out the middle of it.
Nice.
And so I always thought that when they were done building it, they would have a sword, like a
Right,
tower.
that would make sense.
But
right?
but they didn't have it, and so I was so
Oh.
bummed. But like that was like a big part of Vegas was like what's the latest attraction. There was
Okay.
always something going up, and
Right.
then like always something coming down too. I remember when the dunes got destroyed when they imploded it. That
Okay.
was a really big moment in my life. It was fun.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that was. What was it like for you growing up in Sin City, as everybody likes to call it, right?
Sin City, honestly, Sin City has something for everyone. Like
is
I would
true.
say, like the culture of Vegas, for the reputation that it has, it's definitely more family oriented than you would think.
Right.
Like there's like, and part of that is the food industry.
Right.
There's so many different types of places to dine and to go out,
Mm-hmm.
and so whether you're here for entertainment or for fun, there's always a good place to eat.
Right, definitely. And I think with the one thing with Vegas is it's always ever changing. They want to stay, up to tune with the new curves and demands and everything. So that's what I like to see about here as well too. A little bit more about the dunes implosion. Your experience with
Yeah.
that. What was that like? Sounds interesting.
So the dunes was wild. So
Okay.
So my family friend had invited us. There was like a bunch of us guys went. So I was like, I can't remember how old I was, like 8 years old maybe.
Okay.
But a family friend had an office building down on the strip, right near where the Bellagio is today. You know.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so we were pretty close. I remember when the explosion started going off. It was like the biggest fireworks show I'd ever seen in my
Oh my
life.
gosh, I can
And
imagine.
then the building started coming down. And now maybe this was just like my memory. Like I don't know if it's just I'm just remembering it this way.
Okay.
But I swear I felt the wind from the explosion. It was
I
just
wouldn't be
it
surprised.
was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
With that impact. And you weren't that far off from it either.
No.
If you could see it where you are at, you probably had some sort of impact from the wind.
Oh yeah,
That's
it,
cool.
it was a cool experience, and so
Nice.
like being on top of that building, having all that food. Once again, it was food that was involved,
Nice.
and it was a big party, and so like I said with the Excalibur was getting built, Dunes was coming down, replaced with the Bellagio. like that's like Vegas in a nutshell. Like
Right.
there's like one season in Vegas, and that's construction season.
Oh,
It's just like
yes.
always something being built.
It's never ending, even the roads, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you are the co-founder, president, and CEO of Dining Caddy. Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so Dining Caddy is a social media platform that is designed to help its users find where and what to eat,
Wow, nice.
and it's dedicated to helping good food go viral.
Wow, that's awesome. And I feel like that's something that's really like missing in the market right now. Everybody loves to talk about food. You see foodies everywhere. And I feel like with Dining Caddy, like you said, it's giving you the where and what to eat
Yeah.
and having places go viral on it. So I really like that part of that. You've built a social media platform for dining and finding where and what to eat. What are some of your favorite places to eat at?
I would say I really like the new one that I really like is Rouge Room inside the
Heard of
Red
that
Rock.
one. Okay.
So that it's got a piano lounge
Nice.
and great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. Everybody's in like flapper dresses,
Oh,
you know, from the
nice.
1920s.
Okay.
And these gold dresses.
Wow.
And then everything in the room is like crimson red.
Okay.
And so it just looks like a very classy, elegant place.
Wow,
and
that
and the
sounds really
food
nice.
matches the atmosphere, so it's awesome.
Definitely. You know, I've seen pictures of that place and I've really been wanting to go. It just seems like the ambiance, it's just so special. And I kind of feel like, again, going back to like the Mayfair Supper Club that we had talked about, I feel like they really take you back in time when you enter into
Yeah.
a place like that. And that's what makes it feel so special when you go there.
Well, and I think that is why I love music and food together, is it kind of transports you away from the stresses of life.
Right.
Like it does for me. I don't know what it's like for other people, but for
Right.
me, when I'm eating somewhere that has live music, I get transported. You know?
Right. With those two elements, it really makes something like, I think they work with the synergy
Yeah.
to give you just a really good experience. So what are some other places that you also enjoy here in Las Vegas to eat at?
I really love Maxin Jazz. It's a sushi joint.
Nice. Love
and-
sushi.
And it's a really cool place. It's got live jazz music.
Okay.
And the sushi is actually pretty good for what you're getting.
Okay.
But like the environment, once again, music related, and I just love it.
That sounds really nice. I mean, I am a big fan of sushi, and I also am a big fan of jazz. So to have a sushi and a jazz place, it sounds like the perfect mix. You
Yeah.
know? That sounds very nice. Definitely a place to check out as well. Any other places that you enjoy going to?
Yeah, Piazza Lounge at Tuscany. It's really
Okay.
good. Kenny Davidson is the main attraction there.
Okay.
He's on the keyboard on the piano.
Nice.
And he has a live band, and they have different artists that come and play with him
Oh, very
on Friday
nice.
nights. It's a great time.
That sounds really fun. I love that. All of those places, again, what I love that you said, it brings back to having the music and the food. I don't know about you, but when I eat food, I get excited. I just naturally start to dance while I'm eating food. So when you have music on in a place too, I think it just makes the experience that much better.
Yeah.
That's really great. So once again, your title is co-founder, president, and CEO of Dining Caddy. Who is co-founder with you?
So I actually started the business quite a few years ago with my father.
Okay.
So I had just gone through a divorce and a career change, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life long term. You know, like
Right.
what's my 40-year plan? Because I was wanting to be a dentist, and that didn't work out.
Okay.
And so I was looking for things to do, and me and my dad were talking as we did all the time, and I started telling him this story about college. When I was in
Okay.
college, I took this marketing class that was like it was a senior level marketing class. And the whole point of it was to give you real world experience in
Very
marketing
nice.
a business.
Okay.
And so we had to come up with a business idea and then come up with like a strategy on how to market that business.
Okay.
And then like, you know, what your 3 to 5 year plan was for the business and things like that.
Nice.
And so you just had to have like a well-rounded presentation. And I stopped everything I was doing for all my other classes, and I just built a website
Wow.
from scratch.
Wow.
And like all this marketing material. And the original business idea was called Order Express.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like what Grubhub or Uber Eats is today.
Right.
But this was, 10, 15 years ago, before any of those were household names.
Okay.
And so it was just kind of like, that was like the idea.
Wow. Very
And
nice.
and so I was talking to my dad and sharing with him about that. And he's like, well, why can't you do something like that today? Just
Okay.
follow your dreams and just do it.
Right.
Because I created this marketing presentation, and they presented it to the public, and the public voted on all the presentations, and I ended up
Nice.
winning the marketing tournament.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
like
amazing.
I was a
Okay.
biology major. I took like one business class.
Wow.
And I ended up winning the entire marketing tournament, and so I was
Wow.
like pretty excited about that.
I'm sure.
And it was a pretty fun time, and it was a good memory and something that I thought that I was good at. And so my dad, him and I spitballed ideas,
Okay.
and it kind of spawned and morphed into Dining Caddy today.
Wow. That's awesome.
So-
That's really cool how when was it that you started, that you did that project? How many years ago was that about?
That would have been my senior year. That would have been 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you look at that. That's amazing from the beginning, I guess, initial concept of the idea to now you have really been able to bring that more to fruition, which is
Yeah.
really amazing. That's really cool.
Well, and it's transformed a lot. And I would have to give my dad a huge amount of credit for the look and feel of the app as it is today.
Okay.
He's been very helpful. So he worked as a dentist, hence why I wanted to be a dentist.
Following his path.
following
Yeah.
my father's footsteps.
Right.
So he worked as a dentist, and so he has an eye for detail
Okay.
that I felt was like really appealing, and so he helped transform a lot of the ideas of Dining Caddy today. Came from him, and we just gel well together.
Great. That's really exciting. And I love that you and your father get to experience that together. And it started so many years ago from your initial idea with that project at the university. And now look at where you're taking it as well. It's really exciting. So what is your, let's say, 5-year plan or dream with Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so I think realistically, we will be nationwide within 5 years. So right now we're in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Utah, and parts of California,
nice.
and so we have a presence in all of those areas built out. But I would say within 5 years we should have a nationwide footprint. That's the goal.
That's exciting. And if you were to expand upon it a little bit further, let's say you take it 5, let's look at, 10 years. What do you see with Dining Caddy in 10 years? Let's say, you achieve that nationwide. What's next after that?
I think there would be room to go global. That would be the dream, right?
Right.
Like take it worldwide, Everyone has to go somewhere to eat, and so Dining Caddy is the place where you can find where and what to eat. So
That's really awesome. It's like a one-stop shop for whatever you're craving, you can find it right there.
yeah.
And so in this market now, who are your biggest competitors, would you say?
I think the obvious ones like Yelp and Google, Zomato is one. But Zomato actually just pulled out of the U.S. market. So they were nationwide in the U.S., and they just pulled out to focus on India and the UAE or Dubai. And so they're over in those areas, but they're not in the U.S. operating anymore. And so I think that opens up room for because like Zomato was a foodie platform. And so I think that opens up the market for a foodie platform like ours to come in and take its place.
Indeed, definitely. What makes Dining Caddy unique and different? Something that's worth downloading for other people versus, the other competitors?
That is a really good question. And I think the answer is simple. So on every other competitor, if you look at the way they present restaurants to the customers, they all are algorithm-based presentation. In other words, you're not seeing what's closest to what's furthest away. You're getting their algorithm spitting out results, usually either by who's advertising or whatever other SEO preferences that they have. But on our platform, it's different. We show from what's closest to what's furthest away, and you can cater to that to whatever genre of food you're looking for, whether that's sushi, tacos, whatever. We have every restaurant has tags,
Okay.
and so you can search different tags on our system, and it'll present the results of that tag in order from what's closest to what's furthest away.
That's really great because people can see in proximity, you know, if they don't really feel like driving, but they're looking for something in the area, that gives them that accessibility to be able to make their choices easier.
Right. Like, for example, before I came here, I wanted to go to lunch, and so I looked ahead of time what's in the area on Dining Caddy, and I was able to see and make my pick based off of the results of where and what to eat. So.
Wow, that's great. Are you looking for investors or are you looking for people to be on the ground floor with you?
So currently, we are funded for what we need to do for the first year or so. But we would always be open to somebody that is like-minded, that had something to bring to the table, probably more than just money. Because right now we don't necessarily need the funds. We need partners that can help us take it to the next level.
That makes sense. Like strategically to find the people that fit in the seats that you're looking for at this time.
Yeah.
Do you see the company ever going public?
I would love for a day where Dining Caddy could be traded publicly. I think that would be amazing. That's not necessarily the goal right now. Obviously, right now, our goal is to launch and to get users on the platform. But I think realistically, we could get there would be a market for that. Other social media platforms have gone publicly traded, and so there would be no reason why that couldn't be a future goal of the platform.
So this has been great so far talking about Dining Caddy. Are there any last thoughts that you would like to share?
Yeah, Dining Caddy is a platform that is a place where foodies can collaborate, share their experiences, and build their reputation with other foodies around. And so Dining Caddy is that platform where, like I've said before, good food can go viral. And so we want to be able to build that community, and so we encourage you to download it.
And what do you need most right now?
I think right now what we need most is people to download the app and give us feedback on what we're doing right and what we could do better. I think that the critical feedback at the early stages of the app will be crucial to building a community that will last and thrive.
Right. What do you feel was missing in the market, so to say, let's say the gap that gave you the inspiration to want to start Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so the thing that I felt was missing was a platform that was dedicated to foodies. So like I said earlier, there are cat videos mixed with restaurant videos mixed with everything else on TikTok and Instagram. Like, it's just a mishmash of everything, whereas Dining Caddy offers a platform where it's dedicated to foodies so that you can have an organized profile where all of your reviews, recommendations, you can bookmark the places you'd like to try, and you can keep all that stored in one place, kind of like a dining diary, so to speak. And I think that's what's been really missing is a dining diary. Like, I don't see any platform out there that keeps track of your reviews in such an organized way like our platform does.
That's really nice. And what do you feel like sets you apart from, let's let's say, some of the competitors that you had named previously?
I think the thing that sets us apart the most is the fact that we well, I already answered that one.
I mean, so you've heard him talk about Dining Caddy a little bit already. What
Yep.
questions do you have about, like, actual questions do you have? Like,
So I'm curious, how can other companies, let's say they're a restaurant, how can they get onto Dining Caddy?
So right now we're building out the app. So if you're a restaurant that's listed online, you're listed on Dining Caddy
Oh,
in
great.
the Las Vegas Valley, and regionally. So the restaurant is already on the app, but we will be able to. Sorry, I'm like burping. Let me drink some water. Can you ask that again? Because that was a really good question.
Yes, definitely. So how can, let's say, other restaurants in Las Vegas or even, let's say, nationwide get on Dining Caddy?
So currently, we have a team of dedicated data entry people that are entering in restaurants. So every restaurant in the Las Vegas Valley is on Dining Caddy today, and then also all throughout Nevada and Utah and parts of California. So we're just expanding quickly, and the footprint is growing rapidly. If restaurants want to reach out because they want to do business with us, they can do that. So if we're not quite yet to your city, feel free to reach out, and we would love to do business with you.
That's really awesome. That's cool that they also have that option. If they're not on there already, if they're not covered in the area that you guys are working on, they can reach out to you to try to get onto Dining Caddy too. And I'm curious, what is it going to look like how interactive is it going to be for the users? Let's say, we have on social media platforms, usually people can engage with each other, they can comment back to each other. Are we going to see some type of ability to where they can have that engagement on Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so we have, similar to other social media platforms that are in existence, we have a reply button. So
Nice.
if you have a comment, if somebody leaves a comment, you can hit reply and respond back to that. And it's very interactive, just like social media in general. But we just have a niche market, which is foodies. And so we have blended, I think we're a good mix of, social media meets foodie platform.
That's so cool. I really love that. So if I were to, let's say, get onto this app, would I have my own profile that I can make a post about and people they can respond to and reply to?
Yeah, so that's exactly what Dining Caddy is. So everybody has a profile, and it keeps track of their reviews, their posts. So, like, for example, the way that you could use a post is it'd be like this. Like, so say you have an anniversary coming up, you could post out to all your friends, hey, what's a good restaurant that I should try for French, and then people could respond back and give you their responses, and it is live in your feed.
Wow, that's really cool. I feel like that's the one thing we need because you do see people on social media right now, let's say Instagram, they post on their story, hey, any good restaurant or food spots for any specific type of food, and you need that one central location where everybody's talking about everything food. So I really love that about Dining Caddy. And I know you had mentioned earlier that there's this opportunity for foods to go viral on here. So would that go viral by someone actually posting about it and talking about it? Or would it be the business itself that goes viral from all the reviews that people leave on it? Like, how does that look for someone to go viral on Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so it would be just like any other platform. So what Dining Caddy has is a social feed. So like everybody that you follow goes in your social feed. And so if you make a post and there's heavy interactions with that post, then that would go viral just like on any other platform.
Wow, that's really cool. And so it can reach people outside of just who's their friends and followers?
Yeah, so we are going to have the ability to have it spread amongst like so if I follow you and you follow a friend, it can be spread to your friends, and so they can see what you've interacted with outside. So maybe they don't interact with me, but they interact with you, so they would see what you're liking and what you're sharing.
Okay, that's really cool. I'm curious if you'll have some sort of feature where, let's say, somebody were to set up a date with someone. Are they able to, let's say, like write that down on the app, like date coming up at this restaurant at this location?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so you could do event planning on Dining Caddy.
Wow.
Make a post and be like, hey, we're gonna do this special event on this date, and get the word out for whatever it would be. Yeah, that would definitely fit within the platform.
Oh. All right, so let's say I open up the Dining Caddy app and I go there and let's say I want Hispanic food or Chinese food. How is it gonna work? What's gonna pop up first for me? How's that gonna work out? I know you said earlier it's not algorithm based, so how does that work exactly?
So it's literally what's closest to you. So, so we have put every single restaurant. So we've kind of leveled the playing field, so to speak. So every restaurant has a chance to shine based on where they're located. Gets presented. So if it's close by, it'll be presented quickly, and then if it's further away, it'll be shown up later, right? And then the other component to it, shoot, I lost my train of thought. He moved, and I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah. So what's the other component to finding other places on Dining Caddy?
Yeah, so the first component is that it's proximity, and then the second component is whether or not people are liking and sharing that place. So if it has a buzz on Dining Caddy, then it gets naturally spread more. And so you want your food to speak for itself, so to speak. You want people to be sharing and liking your food. That way it can spread on Dining Caddy, because everybody has a level playing field on Dining Caddy. And I think that's what restaurants and what consumers will like the most about our platform, is that it's a level playing field. Everything is presented with equal weight, and then the only difference is the interactions that the different restaurants are getting. So restaurants with heavy interaction with consumers will be shown more on the platform naturally, just because they're getting more traffic. And so I think it leads to a more natural experience for both the user and the restaurant, that there's like, everybody is given a shot, but who has the most viral content, like the good experiences that people are talking about.
I can definitely see how both sides are benefiting there. So the user who's actually going to be on the app, and also the restaurant who has their place, of business put on there as well. So it's kind of a double-sided benefit for both people there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And how would you find, let's say you want to go off the beaten path. Let's say you're the type of person who doesn't really like to go to the places that everybody enjoys, but they want to find a good place, that mom and pop type of shop feel. How would you find a place like that on Dining Caddy?
So you would hyper focus your search based on what you're looking for. So if it's a type of food, say you're looking for a Italian restaurant, and you want it to be a specific type of Italian food, then you would just type in your tag, and then it'll narrow your search. And then you can scroll through those specific requirements that you have. You can narrow your search, and then you'll have everything what's closest to furthest away presented to you. And then you can make the decision for yourself where you want to go and what you want to eat. And so I think that's what Dining Caddy naturally allows for, is a more user-friendly experience when searching for specific places.
That's great. I really like that. And I'm just curious, will we see any type of filters on there, let's say, that are geared towards the business? Because now people like to know, if it's a family-owned or small business, or maybe if it's a woman-owned business or something like that. Will there be kind of filters on there where people can filter through?
Yeah, so right now we allow up to 4 tags.
Okay.
but we're going to change that to I think unlimited. So the restaurants, once the restaurants take control of their page, their Dining Caddy page, they'll be able to put unlimited tags. And so if somebody wanted to search by family owned or whatever type of community they want to support, they could type in that tag and then go to places like that based off those results.
That's really nice. So it'll be kind of based off of the keywords that people are looking
Yeah.
for here. Oh,
So
nice.
so the restaurants will be able to put all of their tags in that they want to be known for, and then the consumer will be able to search for those, and then the ones that benefit that restaurant, it'll help them be found more often.
That's great. Launching this new app on May 15th.
Yeah, so May 15th is going to be the beta test period, and it'll probably last for 15 to 30 days for beta, and then we'll officially take it to market. And so I'm really excited about that. It's been a long time, a long process, a grueling process, but it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
That's so exciting. That's really exciting. Well, tell me a little bit more about this process leading up till today. What was I would want to ask, like, your favorite takeaway? I know you said there was good and bad things, but let's start with the good first here. So what was your favorite part about this whole entire process?
Just the experience of working on a project with my father. I think there have been times where I've seen a different side of my dad that I've gained a lot of respect for him because of just his knowledge and his insight, just with the business world and everything else. And it's just made it for a fun, exciting journey.
That's really great. That's awesome. And let's say on the other scale of things, what was your hardest day leading up to today?
The hardest day, so legitimately the hardest day was working with our old developers. So we have a new development team, Seashore Solutions, that they are phenomenal. I definitely want to give a shout out to them. They've been phenomenal business partners and everything that we've needed to be able to launch the app. But our old business partners, they would never get things to us on time, and it was just a dragged out, long process. They would kind of like dangle the carrot in front of the horse, so to speak. Just kind of it was always just out of reach, and so we were always working on the project endlessly and never seeing it come to fruition. And so KJ and his team of developers have really made our dreams come true, and it's been wonderful to finally see the finish line where we can launch the app to the world and give them a taste of what Dining Caddy is and what it can do for the foodie community and for just people looking to have a dining experience. I think I think what sets Dining Caddy apart, like genuinely, is that the true foodie, somebody that calls themselves a foodie and identifies as a foodie, that person will have a home on Dining Caddy. And the person that's just like, hey, it's Saturday night, I need food, what's close by? That person has a home on Dining Caddy as well. So they might not be an avid user or a regular user, but they will be just as important to us in the sense that they are on the site, getting eyes on our restaurants and helping put content on there. And so I really have I'm excited for the future of Dining Caddy.
That is really exciting. That is. I'm hearing that it doesn't matter who you are or how important food is to you, you can still find a place on this app. And also a sense of community, I think, that will really bring and bridge gaps together here and nationwide. I mean, starting here, like you said, you're in Vegas, Utah, and some parts of California, but eventually it's going to spread even further where this community can really go to talk about food.
Right. And not just places to dine out. You can talk about your favorite recipe, you know, and you can take it in that direction. Like there's room to be all things foodie. It doesn't have to be just dining experiences. It can be everything, and that's where we have the post section where you can make posts, and so people could post their favorite recipes or Instagrammable pictures of food. You know, they can do that on Dining Caddy, and there's a home for them there.
That's exciting. So I hear kind of maybe there might even be an opportunity for people if, let's say, they were to make a cook video or they have a recipe, a family recipe they love, they can put it on Dining Caddy.
There would be room. So Dining Caddy is a wonderful platform for users that are first time, if you just move to a new area, or if you're on vacation, or if you're just traveling to a different side of town. So, for example, I'm in Henderson right now, and I don't know this area. And so if I pull out the Dining Caddy app, it'll show me everything from what's closest to what's furthest away, and I can filter through that and narrow my search or broaden my search to decide what meets my needs. And I think that's what really sets Dining Caddy apart from the rest of the competition, is that we have a platform where you can find where and what to eat in a very easy, user-friendly way.